Welcome to British Focus, your go-to channel for the latest news and discussions from across the UK. In today's video, we'll dive into a shocking incident that took place in London, where a man was arrested after causing alarm on the Underground. But before we get into the full details, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join our growing community. Your support helps us bring you the most up-to-date stories with in-depth analysis. From breaking headlines to thought-provoking discussions, we cover the stories that matter, bringing you clear insights into what's happening across the country. Stay with us as we unravel today's events, looking at not just what happened but also the wider implications. So, grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's get started.
I promise you, see, this is why I don't take public transport. What the fuck is going on, bro? What's spoiling, bro? It don't make no sense. I don't know what's going on. What is the theme today, bro? Am I about to get hemmed off? Wallahi, if he tries to kill me, I'm gonna kill him first as well, bro. I can't lie. Bro, he's with it. He's with it. He's with it. What's he with, though? What's he with? I don't get it. Man, tell me. Am I emming him first? I might have to em him first, you know. Wallahi, my man's moving like he's on COD and that. This guy is tweaking out, bro. Hey, man, this guy just tweaking, bro. Wallahi, if I'm coming like some loading screen. This guy's taps. May Allah help him, man.
Imagine you're on your daily commute, waiting for the train at Whitechapel Station. The usual hum of London's Underground surrounds you, people checking their phones, chatting, or simply lost in thought. Then, suddenly, you notice something unusual. A man, dressed in full combat gear, kneels on the platform and starts assembling what appears to be a sniper rifle. Panic sets in. Is this real? Is this a terror attack about to unfold? You glance around, expecting others to react, but some seem frozen, while others cautiously step back. The tension in the air is palpable. This bizarre and deeply irresponsible incident unfolded recently in London when a man in his 20s was spotted brandishing what turned out to be a replica firearm on the Elizabeth Line platform. Reports indicate that he was heading to Megacon Live at the London Excel, an event known for cosplay and fan culture. Now, let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with dressing up as your favorite character. The issue here is not cosplay itself but common sense, or rather, the lack of it. The British Transport Police, BTP, were quick to respond, arresting the man at his home later on suspicion of possessing an imitation firearm with intent to cause fear or violence, as well as possession of an offensive weapon. Rightfully so. When you bring something that looks like a sniper rifle into a public place, you are asking for trouble. Whether it's meant to be a harmless prop or not, the reality is that no one in that moment knows it's fake. It's not about whether you personally think it's harmless, it's about the perception and the reaction of the public and law enforcement. Social media exploded with reactions, as footage of the incident quickly spread online. In the video, visibly shaken commuters can be seen backing away while the man casually constructs and aims the imitation rifle. One shocked witness can be heard saying, "Why is everyone so chill? If I saw that, I wouldn't know if it was real or not, I'd be out of there." And honestly, who could blame them? In today's world, where security concerns are higher than ever, seeing a person in military-style gear assembling a weapon on a public transport platform is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. One of the most infuriating aspects of this situation is the sheer lack of awareness. If this individual was genuinely heading to Megacon Live, then surely he must have been aware of the ongoing warnings regarding carrying replica weapons in public. This isn't the first time police have had to deal with such incidents. Every year, around major conventions like Comic-Con, authorities receive multiple reports of people traveling with realistic-looking props, leading to unnecessary panic and wasted police resources. Think about it, every time an emergency call comes in about a potential gunman on public transport, police have to respond as if it were real. That means deploying armed officers, potentially stopping trains, and diverting resources away from actual crimes or emergencies. Assistant Chief Constable Ian Drummond-Smith put it perfectly when he said, "This is a surefire way to get yourself arrested, or worse, shot." The fact that some people still don't grasp this is staggering. Chief Inspector Martin Gron of the BTP's Armed Policing Unit also warned that these incidents are far too common. Each time, police have to assess the situation carefully, and while no one wants to overreact, the consequences of underreacting could be far worse. The message is simple: if you're attending a cosplay event, keep your props concealed while traveling. It's not difficult. It's a matter of public safety and respect for others. Now, some might argue that the police overreacted or that people need to calm down because it was just a prop. But let's flip the perspective for a moment. What if the police hadn't acted swiftly? What if, instead of a harmless cosplayer, it had been a real threat? Would people still criticize the police for taking action? Doubtful. When it comes to potential weapons in public places, the default assumption has to be that the threat is real until proven otherwise. The risk of hesitation is simply too high. Beyond just the immediate panic, there's a broader issue at play here: the normalization of carrying replica weapons in public. It's one thing to be at an event, inside a controlled space where people expect costumes and props. But public transport is not a convention hall. It's a shared space where people of all ages and backgrounds travel, and they shouldn't have to second-guess whether the person in front of them is cosplaying or planning something sinister. The British Transport Police have now issued yet another urgent reminder to anyone attending events like Comic-Con: keep your weapons out of sight when traveling. It's not just a matter of avoiding an arrest, it's about preventing unnecessary fear, disruption, and potential danger. At the end of the day, this is common sense. So what do you think? Do you believe the police handled this correctly? Should there be stricter penalties for people who cause public alarm in this way? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you enjoyed this discussion, make sure to like the video and subscribe to British Focus for more news and analysis. Other news making headlines today: a major political debate has erupted over the future of Heathrow Airport, with Labour divided over whether expanding the UK's busiest airport is a step towards progress or a disastrous move in the wrong direction. At the heart of this debate are two key figures: Rachel Reeves, who argues the expansion will create jobs and drive economic growth, and Barry Gardner, who insists that pouring money into Heathrow is an outdated strategy that contradicts the UK's climate goals. And let's be honest, this is not just about one airport. This is about the direction Britain is heading in. So, let's break this down. The government claims that adding a third runway at Heathrow will create 100,000 jobs, boosting employment in a way that could revitalise the economy. Reeves, the Shadow Chancellor, sees this as a bold and necessary investment, a move that will place Britain at the forefront of global trade and connectivity. She argues that Britain needs to get back to building and investing, not just discussing endless plans that never materialise. And to some extent, she has a point. For years, infrastructure projects in the UK have been slow, expensive, and riddled with political gridlock. Just look at HS2, a project that has been repeatedly scaled back and delayed, now barely resembling its original vision. The idea that Heathrow expansion could be a symbol of Britain's ability to actually get things done is tempting. But here's the problem: is this really the right thing to invest in? Barry Gardner doesn't think so, and he makes some valid arguments. He describes Heathrow expansion as a project of the past, not the future, and quite frankly, is not wrong. The world is shifting towards sustainability, with businesses increasingly operating digitally and remote work reducing the necessity for as much air travel as before. Do we really need another massive runway? Or should we be focusing on newer, cleaner transport solutions? Heathrow's third runway has been debated for years, and let's not forget that it's not just about expanding an airport. It's about bulldozing villages, rerouting motorways, and increasing emissions at a time when the UK is supposed to be cutting them. Critics argue that the government can't claim to be serious about climate targets while simultaneously backing projects that increase carbon emissions. After all, Heathrow is already one of the biggest polluters in the country. Adding another runway would only make things worse. And what about competition? Gardner points out that Dubai, the world's busiest international airport, operates efficiently with just 2 runways, whereas Heathrow is struggling despite already being a major hub. Maybe the problem isn't a lack of space but poor management and outdated infrastructure. Expanding Heathrow might seem like an easy fix, but what if we're just throwing money at a problem instead of fixing its root cause? Supporters of the expansion will argue that Heathrow is crucial for Britain's position as a global trading hub and that ignoring this project would mean falling behind our competitors. But does Britain's economy truly rely on one single airport? Shouldn't we be investing in regional airports, spreading growth across the country rather than concentrating everything in London yet again? Gardner raises another point. Resources are limited, and if we pour billions into Heathrow, that money won't be available for other transport projects that could benefit more people, more directly. Instead of spending billions on a third runway, why not invest in better rail connections, upgrading existing airports, and improving domestic transport infrastructure? Let's be honest, this is also about political image. Labour wants to be seen as pro-business and pro-growth, but at the same time, they have to appeal to environmentally conscious voters. Reeves' push for Heathrow expansion might help her win favour with big investors, but could it alienate those who want real action on climate change? So, where do you stand on this? Should Britain go all in on Heathrow expansion, accepting that job creation and economic growth justify the environmental impact? Or is this just another outdated, short-sighted project that fails to align with the UK's future needs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this discussion thought-provoking, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to British Focus, and stay tuned for more in-depth analysis. Thanks for watching. Other news making waves today: a once iconic London nightclub, known for its ties to Prince William and Prince Harry, is set to reopen near Kensington Palace. A hot spot for the elite, this venue was once a favourite hangout for the young royals, celebrities, and high-profile figures. But what's really making headlines isn't just its grand reopening. It's the rather controversial stance taken by one of its owners. Meghan Markle is not welcome. Yes, you heard that right. Carlo Corello, co-owner of the club now rebranded as Gallery, made it very clear in an interview that, while the establishment is exclusive, one person in particular won't be making the guest list: Meghan. His words: "Everyone is welcome, except Meghan. I don't like her." Well, that's blunt. And let's be honest, this kind of statement isn't just about personal preference. It speaks volumes about how Meghan is perceived among certain circles in Britain's high society. Now, let's talk about this. Some people will rush to call this petty or unfair, arguing that Meghan, like anyone else, should be able to go wherever she pleases. But let's take a step back. This is not just any club. It's a place deeply linked to royal tradition, a space where the elite have long socialized away from the public eye. And let's be real, Meghan hasn't exactly maintained the best relationship with the royal family or their close circles. After years of bombshell interviews, accusations, and tell-all documentaries painting the monarchy in a less than favorable light, it's hardly surprising that some members of these elite circles want nothing to do with her. People often forget that exclusivity is the foundation of these private clubs. That's the whole point. They're designed for a select group of people who share certain values, interests, or connections. And frankly, Meghan has positioned herself as an outsider to this world, making a very public exit from royal life and openly criticizing the institution that many in these circles still respect. So why would she even want to be part of this club? And more importantly, why would they want her there? It's also interesting to consider how this contrasts with Prince Harry's past ties to the venue. Once a regular, Harry was known to have enjoyed nights out at the original club, alongside some of his closest friends. Yet, despite his very public distancing from royal life, there's no mention of him being unwelcome. Could this mean that Meghan is seen as the true disruptor, while Harry, despite his actions, is still somewhat forgiven in these circles? Whether you support Meghan or not, this situation raises a bigger question. Is this just about personal dislike, or is it a reflection of how Britain's elite still view her? Has Meghan's break from the royal family cost her more than just a title? Now, let's hear your thoughts. Do you think this club is justified in keeping Meghan out? Or is this just another example of unfair treatment? Let us know in the comments. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to British Focus, and stay tuned for more discussions on the latest news. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.